Hello YouTube, this is CyberKnight 610, and I thought I would do a video on fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards, how you can tell the difference between a real one and a fake one. I've been meaning to do a video like this for a while, so I thought I'd go ahead and do something like this. As most people can tell, this one is a fake. There are numerous reasons. One, it's Exodia, so Exodia is not in one card, first off. It's only in 5 cards. You have each piece like that. And I know this is a Japanese or Chinese or whatever version too, but it still is good enough. That's one example of it. The ink is faded. As you can tell, it's really faded compared to a normal card. Here, I'll get a random card here. See, as you can tell, they're both fake monsters, yet it's really faded. Sometimes there are certain Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like older and newer and stuff, they kind of mess around with the ink, and sometimes they are a little faded, so you can't always go by that. But I mean, usually a fake one is really, really faded, and you can tell real easy. And also, most time a fake, the border isn't really straight. Of course there are misprints in Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff where the borders are cut wrong and stuff. People call those misprints, but I don't really, think of them as that. But I'll have a discussion on that sometime too. But you can just really tell there's more black here than there is up top and certain things like that. Whereas this, it's perfect all the way around. And this one doesn't have it, but I've noticed too on some fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the attack points will be just outrageous, 100 times stronger than a normal Yu-Gi-Oh card, in 100,000 attack and stuff like that. I used to have some old fake cards that had that. I don't know where they are, I'd show them to you guys. But, that's one of the things too, they're not going to be that powerful. It's usually anything over 4,000, I guess, is fake. You could go by something like that, because there's a few that are a little over 3,000. I would say just 3,000, but I think there's Legendary Fiend and a few of those others that are over it. And God cards are a different subject completely. Also, they don't have the little hologram. Here's the hologram on a real one. The fake one doesn't have the hologram. And on the back, you can tell there is no Konami on it, and there is no Yu-Gi-Oh little symbol thing. So that's another big difference. So yeah, that's one, thing how to tell a fake. Fakes on God cards. Now, I thought I'd just kind of go over it because they are the most counterfeited. Mine are real. Of course, they're from different sets. That's why this one's a secret rare, is because it's from the Shonen Jump. And these two are from the Game Boy Advance game that came out, or Game Boy Color or whatever. So, first off, let's go with the fact that the colors on the backs. Obelisk, which is a blue card, it will have, blue on the back. Raw will have the red. Slifer. I don't know what I'm thinking. And Raw will have yellow, which is, here's Raw. They don't have the Konami and stuff on the back, which is kind of odd. And they don't have the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. They're just made for collectors, and they all, I don't know if fake ones don't have this or not, but they all say you cannot be used in a duel. Let's see. Where is it on this one? Here it is. It's on the bottom. These are American Asian cards. If you look at the Wikipedia, you'll hear more about them. But that's what these are. That's why they came for the Game Boy Advance game, these two. Anyway, the Obelisk getting. And they have it written in Chinese or Japanese or something at the bottom. That you can't be using a duel yet. The rest of the card is in English, which is kind of interesting. They're just, let's see, what are some other things? They all, of course, have the little holographic thing that they all have, and always look at the numbers. The Shonen Jump one, just to kind of look up at it, it has JMPEN004. And if you look at the Wikipedia, go to Obelisk the Tormentor, it will have, all the sets that it's from, and it will list those numbers. If you have a card that doesn't have those numbers, then it's a fake. So, that's one thing on there. Of course, fakes will have, different artwork than these. I think there might be a set of Japanese ones that have a little different, but American-wise, they will have this exact artwork. Because I've seen a lot on eBay and stuff selling for a pretty good amount, but you can tell they're fakes because Slifer's in a completely different pose, and that's just not how it happens on this. Of course, you have to look for the fading thing, and like I said, if they're a weird rarity and stuff too, this one is supposed to be secret because it came with the Shonen Jump magazine, and these are ultra rare versions. But if it's something just really weird like comment or something, you know it's fake then too. And if the attack points are a little weird, like for Raw, it's all question marks for attack and defense. It's like 4 question marks. And Slifer has an X and then 3 zeros behind it. And Obelisk just has the 4,000 attack and defense. So if they have something other than those, then they're also, more than likely, they're fakes then too. Alright, and I hope that helped people out. We're getting these released again in the Legendary Collection too, so for you guys that don't have these, don't try to spend a lot of money on them, because they're going to come out and they're going to be, I don't know, pretty cheap, hopefully, and you can get all 3, and they will be real, of course, since they're going to be re-releasing them. So yeah, that's just kind of one thing on there. And if you have any questions about, fakes or anything, just leave that in the comments or send me a message. I will gladly help anyone that is having trouble with that kind of stuff. And most of the time, like I said, though, it is just really obvious. Like I was saying, this Exodia, I mean, it's not the picture and everything. It's just Exodia is not in one card. So most of the time, there's really simple things like that. Alright, and that's everything. Be sure to enter my contest. It will end when I reach 2,000 subscribers. And be sure to check out City of Gamers. Check out the forums on there. I will have a link to it. Very awesome site. Post your decks there, and I will help you guys out, of course, and others will help you out as well. And hopefully, everyone will kind of help each other out, and maybe, just be fun to kind of hang out on the forums. You can hang out with me even on the forums. Alright, and that's all. Bye, YouTube.